I would paint the earth, but I realized that I'm used to looking at it from one point of view, which is looking at the United States. And so I thought I quickly sketched out here a couple of other views, and I started one, kind of lost Australia there in Asia. And let's get started on this one. I'm going to do it upside down. This one's got Africa on it, and just going to get going here on this and see if I can do it justice. I'm using stone paper, which actually behaves a little differently than regular watercolor paper. It's a little bit more challenging to work with. But I'm going to try it. I don't know how Europe looks upside down in that view from Africa, but that's okay. It's roughly there. I'm going to let that dry for a quick second. And then I'm going to come back to it. Try to go over to this traditional view of the US and South America. Well, sort of more from the Western, from the East looking, well, from Asia looking back toward the West Coast, but it's upside down. And I thought, is this really such a huge expanse of ocean out here? I guess it really is. I probably have things pretty rough here and not to scale proportionally. Isn't it fun to think of the North Pole as being this icy, snowy place? Well, it's icy, but there's no land. It's all water up there. So I guess I'm showing it in the summertime. If you're just joining me, I'm just taking some time out of my day to paint a little Earth Day composition here. Thanks for joining me. I guess this is okay. Here we go. That's supposed to be Florida and Cuba right there. The Gulf. This, at the image I looked at, I think this seemed distorted. I guess the Panama Canal would be in there somewhere. A little challenging looking at it upside down. Okay. Challenging myself to look at the earth from a different point of view. All right. I'm going to try to come in a little closer here. And okay, this is the way we're used to looking at the globe, right? There's Africa. But this is, I'll work on it this way. Let's get some, well, there's a lot of desert, isn't there? Is it up in here, this area? Got desert. I'm not looking at any pictures. I'm I mean, I looked at an initial picture to sketch this, but otherwise, I'm just geographically challenged here. I'm not sure how to depict Europe up here. It's probably mostly green up here. I think this is supposed to be Spain over in here. This is still some of the Middle East and Asia. There's probably some more desert in there, some places. I'll just go ahead and leave it at that. And get some red in here. Try this again. And this is, I guess, part of Brazil over here. I probably showed a little more than I should. And, well, I guess I'm indicating that there's a little bit of Antarctica down there. So let's darken this up. Stone paper is really a lot different to work with. It does not act at all like regular watercolor paper. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. I'm this type of paper is really a big experiment for me. I've used it a few times, but it's a little different. The watercolor floats on the surface. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna let this dry a little bit more. I'm gonna paint some more of the background. And I'm trying to get some purple in here, and I like to think of it as not being completely black. I need more black here. Oh, there's some, that's some black. As you can see in this one, I kind of, New Zealand kind of faded away, and Australia too. I kind of lost them into the ocean. Chris, what kind of painting did you do? Or did you do were you in art school? Watercolor is it's pretty challenging. And I just like to I guess you could just say experiment with it, play with it a little bit. This is again a different kind of paper and it as you can see it kind of floats on the surface. Let's see. What I'm going to do now, I have a couple of different things here. What's kind of interesting is using a little bit of rubbing alcohol, as long as I don't get too much on here, and it acts as a resist. If I can not get too much on, I don't want big spots. You like acrylic? I don't, I would love to learn how to use acrylic. I have used acrylic paint with stencils, but I haven't allowed myself to venture into acrylic painting. I think that's a challenging medium as well. Okay, let me see if I can work on this little upside down United States and Canada and South America right here. Chris, the challenge I think with acrylic is it dries so fast. And I guess in a way, oils and watercolor are the opposite, right? It takes so long sometimes for an area to dry so that you can work back into it. Okay, I need some different greens here, I guess, mostly. Over here, I don't have enough room to show my palette. Oops. When I'm doing live streams, it's a really just a vertical format. Supposedly you can do horizontal, but the one time I tried that, it didn't turn out. Okay, so Mexico, here's, I don't know, this is probably going to be mostly green. I guess I'll add some desert Southwest in here later. I think this is too big. This, I don't know. It's mostly jungle in South America, is it not? Other than mountains in Peru, and I'm showing my ignorance here on geography. I think the mountains are all along there, and it's very cold in Argentina. It's going into winter there. Well, I don't know what else I can do on this one. I think I need to let some stuff dry. I lost part of the earth out to space right there. It's, it's kind of cool. Well, I think I'm going to leave this here for now and uh, maybe post a picture of it after it dries in my community notes. So if you came by, thanks so much for doing so. And I'll be back next Wednesday with more watercolor adventures. And on Saturdays, I've decided that I'm going to, really explore maybe other media besides watercolor. I'm right now doing some collage projects, and I think I'm going to focus on those. So that's going to be it for today. The Earth from some different perspectives. The US looks a little, Western Hemisphere looks a little off there. Anyway, hope you have a great Earth Day. Thanks so much for joining me here, and I will see you next time.